What's up? I'm Empathetic Chicken, and I want to talk about like a major lesson that I'm going through. I mean, I've been kind of like mentioning stuff in my last couple videos about this. I feel like I'm having like a revelation here. It's important to share. So I'm gonna just go with it. Like, I'm feeling the call to talk. So I don't know if this will be helpful to anybody else, but I'm just like realizing like a pattern that has been like ruling my life up until this point. So it feels like pivotal to like expose it and like move past it, because like I'm seeing things like very clearly at the moment. And I was just like doing a little journaling and reflecting over my day yesterday. I mean, I try to journal the day of, but I don't always feel like it. So like this morning I just kind of like looking over my cards, and like as I was journaling, like things just kind of like started clicking into place. So I'm gonna just get into it. So I've been on this little journey of working with the Hangman card, and if anybody's not familiar, this is the Hangman, and it's all about like, I guess, surrendering and looking at things from an opposite perspective. Like, he's obviously like hanging upside down, and like I'm gonna use, I just bought like before I got fired, I bought the before tarot and the after tarot. This is like the original, like just the regular tarot, but I found out there was one called the before and the after, so I was like, let me check this out. And it's basically like just like the traditional image, but like a few minutes before or after. I don't understand why it was made, but it's pretty cool. Like, you know. So like the before and the before tarot, it's just like it looks kind of, you know, it looks pretty bleak. He's just like hanging. It looks kind of uncomfortable. But then like as he's hanging there, he's sort of just like, all right, maybe if I like put like, you know, just accept where I am and just change my little position, like, cause like he's just kind of hanging there in this one. But now he's sort of like getting his little like bearings about him. He's like, well, maybe if I hold my legs and my arms like this, it won't hurt as bad, you know. Have some poise in this little like trapped position. So he kind of just has to like sit there and think for a while, like just accept where he is. Like, he can't get down. I mean, what's he gonna do? Unless he like thinks his way out of this, or somebody else comes along, which is like what kind of happens in the after tarot. Like, somebody has come to like give him a little drink of water. He's been hanging there. He accepted, and now like somebody can come and, you know, help him out a little bit. But I feel like he also, like, if he had really like, you know, I don't think he necessarily needed this person to come along. Like, if he really wanted to, like, if he like gathered his strength, he could have like reached up there and untied himself. I mean, it probably hurt when he fell, but he'd be all right. But anyways, like, I just needed to like illustrate, like show you these to illustrate kind of like the point that I'm trying to make here. Or I'm not even trying to make a point. I'm trying to just like explain just this like realization that I'm having about my own life. So like, it's hard to like know where to start. I'm gonna just read what I wrote on my hand a minute ago. Like, as I was journaling, I said, focusing on the need for change keeps you stuck. Acceptance is the answer. So like, if this guy was to just like panic and like freak out, oh my god, I'm stuck, like, he'd just still be stuck. Like, but until he's willing to like acknowledge where he is, he's gonna keep feeling stuck. I don't know. I feel like, let me just give you some like backstory, like from my own life. So like, if you watched my last couple videos, like, I have been sort of understanding how I've kept myself stuck by trying to do everything myself and feeling like I had to like earn like my existence, and like things had to be hard because it was my responsibility to like carry the weight of like everything else. So like that kind of showed up in the past, like in my relationship with my mom, and just feeling like I was like responsible for making her feel loved, like, so, because I was afraid she was gonna like, you know, I don't want to get like too bleak, but whatever, she was like suicidal. So like, I don't want to get this like video taken down or whatever. I don't know how the rules are about that, but whatever. Like, it was a thing, and it was a fear. Like as a kid, like I just worried about that all the time. So like I was just like, you know, overly caring and just like wanting to be that emotional support for her. So like that was one way that it showed up. So I guess from that experience, like, I just learned to, you know, I mean, just watch another video. I go into more depth, like, if you're really that interested. But yeah, I just took on that responsibility to, like, be, like, the savior, you know, and then, like, also with, like, all the arguing in the household, like, I just felt like I had to be, like, the calm one, the one that kind of, like, didn't engage in the conflict, so I had to be neutral. So yeah, moving along, I kind of like was in a partnership where I just like sacrificed myself and just did, which, I mean, that's not even, it showed up in my relationship with my siblings too. Like my sister, really, like I just kind of was her shadow basically and did everything that she wanted to do. Like we shared a room, so like I was just kind of, not that like, it's not like I'm trying to make other people seem controlling or like they just, you know, were bad people or whatever. But I'm just like, I was a very passive person and just kind of went along with things. And so like, I just didn't really develop my own identity. So I mean, that was a little pattern in that whole scenario. And then when I got with my partner, when I was a teenager, like, I kind of just like fit back into that role of just like doing what he wanted to do. And like, just not even allowing myself to take up space. And it kind of just continued for the next, like, 11 years. And, like, I finally, well, I mean, that's not the only thing. But, like, with my dad, when he got sick, like, I kind of, I mean, it's not all bad, I don't feel like. Because, like, I kind of just instinctively, like, stepped into the role of, like, a little caregiver. And, like, being there for him and taking care of his little medicines and stuff. So it's not like, I'm not, like, begrudging to, like, this pattern. In all ways. What am I saying? I feel like it's never all good or bad, and we even gotta like label it as that, but whatever, just so you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad that I was able to like be there and help in that scenario, but it also, like, I've noticed after the fact how it gave me that same sense of like purpose, I guess. Like, the responsibility of like taking care of him made me feel like I deserved to exist. Sounds so like messed up, but yeah, anyway, like, so after he passed, it was kind of like an awakening for me, because I was like, well, I don't have anything else to like focus my time into. Like, I don't know, like I was just used to that certain pattern, and like he was gone, so like I couldn't focus on something else anymore. So like I kind of had to focus on me. He like left me his house, so like I had to like receive the house, and it was very like hard for me to do because I'm not used to like receiving things. I'm used to being the one that gives. And I'm not trying to like make myself out to be like this like noble, like, ooh, I'm so generous. Like, I'm not trying to do that at all. Like, this is just like what shaped me, like how I learned to like, you know, exist. It's just by like overextending myself just to feel worthy of existing. Like, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think it is nice. It's nice to give and but it's also nice to receive. Like, you need both. It's not like, you know, you gotta have balance. So yeah, like, and I, like, with my, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied, but like, even with pursuing my therapy degree, that was like a part of that whole like needing, I mean, it wasn't all needing to justify my existence by like helping others, but part of it was like for my own like soul searching and trying to like fix myself, because I had this illusion that I was broken, and like if I just had the answer, like the secret to like solving my problems, then I could like share it with others. But like there's no secret. Like it's not. I mean, it wasn't what I thought. And there's videos about that if you want to, or there's a video about that if you want to hear more about that. But anyways, like I'm noticing like how like my whole life has been shaped by this like need, this false need to like prove that I deserve to exist. And I was talking to my brother yesterday, and like I was just telling him about like the whole job situation, how I lost my job, and just like how I'm just at this point where I don't know where I fit. Like I feel like there is no place for me because I'm so like, I guess, radical or whatever, like compared to like other people. Like I just don't want to accept things how they are because I'm just so like angry about it. Like I don't, like the whole reason I was mad at my job was because I just felt like we were being mistreated and like companies don't appreciate their employees. So like now I'm kind of like realizing how I have substituted another thing to like justify my little worth, like my worth. So like I don't know if it's making sense, but like now I have taken it upon myself to sort of like be like the voice of the wrong done. That's not how I want to say it. Like the voice of injustice. Like I'm like a fighter for the people, like, you know. So I think that's what I was kind of doing in my job, and not saying that like I was wrong. Like I don't feel like I'm wrong for feeling how I feel and being upset with how the world is, but I mean realistically I'm only one person, and like being angry and fighting isn't gonna solve the whole problem. Does that make sense? And I know this could be like conflicting with some people because of like the whole social justice thing, and like I definitely feel like there's a place for that. But I guess like I'm more so come at like change, well, my intention to, like, it hasn't always been like at the forefront because I've been like ruled by this little pattern that I'm just now recognizing. But like my whole like standpoint on like change has always been like coming from a place of like changing it. Like we only change ourselves really, is what I feel. And by changing ourselves, like that change is reflected outside of us, like, and maybe not like on a grand scheme or whatever, or a grand scale. Yeah. But yeah, that's always been my little goal, like with my deck. Like it's so crazy, like, because having the conversation with my brother, he was saying like that I need, or the way that he wasn't like telling me what to do, but the way that he has dealt with like the same kind of feelings that I have about being upset about the state of things and how we just like kind of work our lives away or whatever. Like he said that he kind of just like it's all in like perspective and like shifting how you're viewing things. Like I mean, this is like he literally like just reflected everything that I believe. But it's just like when you're in, I guess, your life, it's hard to like see where you're kind of going against yourself in a way, or at least for me. But I don't know, like it's just so crazy because I already knew everything he was telling me, but it's like I just had it in my head that like I needed to like change the world and like do better. But like I'm realizing that comes from like my need, or this need that I have created that says that I have to like be doing something worthy, or like doing something self-sacrificial really, to like belong here and deserve to be happy. It's just like I feel like I have created this story in my head that like if I'm not doing something like that matters, then I don't deserve to be here. So then it was really funny, like, he showed me, like, this video, because I was telling him about, like, my recent videos where I was talking about, like, my resistance to, like, having a business and, like, not wanting to seem, like, manipulative and just, like, you know, being what I don't like exploitive of people, and, you know, like, just capitalism. I don't like it. But, like, he showed me, like, this video of, I don't even know the channels, but, like, these two people who were just, like, this one was, like, a guitar, like, this song, this guy with a guitar, and he was, like, basically farting music, and then the other girl was just, like, sitting at a table, like, farting. So then, like, the point of it is just, like, I'm sitting here, like, stressing out about, like, bringing something, like, meaningful, like, just to deserve to exist, and then there's, like, people out here who just, like, fart, and, like, they don't care, you know what I mean? So he was just trying to tell me, like, how I just put, like, the weight of the world on my shoulders when I really don't have to, and, like, I'm not gonna change. Like, this sounds bleak, like, it sounds like I'm saying don't even try because, like, you can't change anything, so, like, why bother? I'm not saying that at all. And I don't think he was saying that. I think he was just saying, like, don't put so much pressure on myself to, like, be what I feel like I'm supposed to be, and just show up regardless because it's what I want to do, like, for me, and not because I feel like don't do it for other people. Which it sounds like, I don't know, it seems like I'm just caring too much about what other people think, but it's not really. It is that on some level, because I don't want to be seen, like, a certain way. Like, it does bother me. Like, I've come to this realization, too. It bothers me that other people can, like, see you however they want, even though you know who you are. They can just make you out to be whatever. But, like, I shouldn't worry about that, and I can't keep worrying about that. So, yeah, I'm working through that. But it seems like I'm just, like, shallow, like, ooh, I want to be perceived in a certain light. But it's not that. It's just, it comes from, like, that wounding of, like, feeling like, you know, I don't deserve to be here unless I'm, like, being useful. Like, that's what it is. So I don't know if I've gotten to, like, the point of what I was saying. But yeah, if I'm sitting here, like, just focusing so much on, like, how angry I am about, like, the state of the world and, like, my job and stuff, like, is that really changing anything? Like, not really. Like, I mean, I'm just being miserable and not allowing myself to, like, enjoy my life. So, I mean, the power lies in accepting that there are certain things, like, there are things already set into place, but, like, my response to those things is what really matters. And then, like, I was sitting here and I was reflecting, and I just thought of, like, the Pokemon movie and what Mewtwo says at the end, where he's like, I realized that, like, the circumstances, don't quote me on this, like, the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. So, like, that is so true. I feel like in this instance, like, I'm really learning that, like, I can't change everything, like, and it's not my responsibility. And there are, like, horrible things that happen in the world, but, like, me sitting here, like, being angry about it and, you know, basically making it harder for myself is not gonna fix it, you know? I mean, I'm not saying don't be aware and, like, acknowledge the things that are sucky about, like, life and the world. But I think, like, by more people kind of, like, shifting their own mindsets and, like, learning to be, like, okay, like, with themselves, that'll help. It's just, like, placing the responsibility back where it belongs. Because, I mean, in keeping with, like, my whole little message I've been saying about, like, everybody looking outside of ourselves to, like, fix what's wrong. Like, the real power is, like, it belongs to us. Like, it's not up to, like, other people to, like, make you feel better or, you know? It's just, I don't know how to articulate like the lesson that I'm like realizing right now, and it might not even be relevant to anyone else, but it's important for me to show up for me and like express this, because I feel like I'm just like finally getting somewhere. Like I'm finally stepping out of my own way for once, and I don't want to like go back to just limiting myself and not seeing it. Like I want this new perspective. Like I don't want to like trap myself anymore, because I already know the truth. It's just like I just cloud my vision like with all this other stuff. But yeah, like with my job, like I was so angry because I just wanted them to see like my point of view, like how I felt like I wasn't being treated right and I didn't have what I needed. But like it was never really about them, you know, seeing me. It was about me needing to see me and how I wasn't choosing myself. Like I was choosing to put up with less than I was okay with. Like, so I mean it was never up to them. Like my happiness was my choice, and I chose to let outside influences rob me of that. And it sounds so like simple and like difficult at the same time. Like I don't know, I understand how it sounds, because I've been like in a place of not being willing to like accept this, like the fact that I am responsible for my state of mind, and that like I can't blame something else, you know. I mean, because it's so easy to do that, but it's just not gonna nothing like is gonna bend to your will, you know. So you have to be willing to make the choice, like, well, do I want to be happy, or do I want to just stay stuck? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just end on this, like what I just wrote in my journal. Maybe it'll help, I don't know. But I just put, we have to prioritize what matters to us, not as an act of resistance, but as an act of choosing ourselves. I'm gonna let you just stew on that, and I'm gonna keep stewing on it, and I'm gonna keep learning my little lessons. But yeah, hopefully that was like interesting, or just like, you know, I don't know what you got out of it. If you did get anything out of it, like I'd love to like talk about it. Let's talk. But yeah, I just feel like I need to share this, just because like I don't know, in the past I've worried about like being too much, or like, you know, being too vulnerable. But you know what, who cares? Like, because I get to decide if it's too much or not. And if somebody doesn't want to listen to me, they don't have to watch this video. So like, I'm gonna just show up when I want to show up, and I ain't losing nothing if somebody doesn't want to hear me. It's not like a determining factor of if I should show up or not, because I decided I wanted to show up, and that's what counts. So yeah, take it or leave it. That's the stance I'm coming from. But that said, like, if you are here, I appreciate you listening. Like, hopefully you're doing alright, freaking learning some things as well. And happy to have you. Yeah, I'll be back. Talk to you soon. Love you.